My cardiologist says I was lucky. Really very lucky. You see, years ago, I had a pretty bad heart attack. Oh yes, thankfully I survived, but it left my heart damaged, and I guess that's never going to change. But my life sure has. My doctor says it's that damage to my heart, plus hypertension I've had for years that brought on my heart failure. Well, I've been living with heart failure for nearly 2 years now, and not always easily. I admit that. It's hard sometimes, and there's no question it's been hard on my family too. Hey, I'm not out there raking leaves anymore because I easily get tired from the exertion. Oh sure, I've had a good life, the best. My family's the best. And I'm looking forward to sharing things with them in the years ahead, like my daughter having a baby, my first grandchild. Believe me, I've been hospitalized a couple of times when my breathing's gotten really bad, and once for pain that just came out of nowhere. That gave us all a good scare. But we still share a lot of good things too. That's where the lucky part comes in. We travel pretty frequently, and I'm still fishing with my old buddies, still dancing with my wife. Slow dances, my favorite. When you're living with heart failure, you do what you can. You try to eat right, get what exercise you can, see your doctor regularly, take your medicines properly, and of course, you rely on a lot of help. A lot of help.
The Centers for Disease Control estimates that in the U.S. alone, 5 million people suffer from heart failure, and another 500,000 are newly diagnosed with the disease each year. These heart failure numbers are expected to become even worse as our elderly population grows and better care results in longer survival rates for those with cardiac conditions. The rate of hospitalizations for heart failure at age 45 to 64 and age 65 and older increased more than 3 times between 1970 and 1994. In fact, congestive heart failure is the most common diagnosis in hospital patients 65 and older. These numbers have prompted the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute to describe heart failure as a new epidemic. Not surprisingly, this epidemic is reflected in every statistic related to heart failure, such as visits to physicians' offices for heart failure, which have increased from 1.7 million in 1980 to 2.9 million in 1993. Survival rates following a heart failure diagnosis are grim. Although women fare better than men, only about 20% survive much longer than 8 to 12 years. One in 5 persons with heart failure, such as the patient we've just seen, die within 1 year. And sudden death in these patients occurs at 6 to 9 times the rate of the general population. The impact of this epidemic is sadly borne out by the rise in the death rates from heart failure.